Hey, what's up, ladies and guys? All right, we're gonna start phase 4 of this project at the house. Let's turn around. Phase 1, if you remember, was doing this retaining wall, expanding the driveway. Phase 2 was stoning the entire bank for the flower bed. Phase 3 behind me is that Versalock retaining wall that matches the Versalock retaining wall that is expanded, that we use to expand the driveway. Now phase 4 is going to be building them a new sidewalk, a new paver sidewalk. So that's right behind me. It's a combination of slate and pavers right now, but that's all got to come up. And then once the pavers are done, this whole flower bed here is going to be stone on both sides of the sidewalk. These steps are staying, so they have sentimental value. So we're going to leave these steps. We're going to clean them up, and the caps aren't even glued on, so the glue failed. So eventually we're going to, fix those up and clean or re-secure the caps. So that should be phase 4 is the sidewalk. Phase 5 is going to be come back around this way, and if you see this flower bed has a falling retaining wall, this one and the one all the way back there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all these out, and they have a cherry tree right here. So I don't want to kill the roots and hurt the cherry tree too bad. So I'm going to take the Versalock blocks that we use on the other 2 walls in the yard, take this one down, dispose of it, and then build a Versalock block wall in front of it. And there's not going to be any geogrid. It's not going to be any drainage except for the stone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 foot of stone, approximately 1 foot of stone behind the wall, basically where these blocks are, to act as a drainage. But I'm going to build a Versalock retaining wall in front of where this wall is. Obviously, like I said, this wall is going to come out. This is going to be phase 5, I think. This is after the sidewalk. So, but it'll continuously go right across the whole front. That way the whole front matches. But and then the very last thing I'll do is a decorative stone to match the other flower beds that I did. All right, so the first thing for this project is going to be the sidewalk. I got to come up with a game plan. And the things that are staying in here, obviously the cherry tree. These 2 hostas, I'm probably going to mutilate getting the machine up there and getting the mulch out of there and all that kind of stuff. But they're resilient, they'll grow back next year. All that ground cover, the ground cover juniper over there is coming out. And I think there's Pachysandra in there also. That's all going to come out and get disposed of. And then I got to rip out all this fabric paper that they put underneath mulch. You don't put fabric paper underneath mulch. The weeds grow on top of the fabric paper if you do that. So you just get rid of the fabric paper. You put fabric paper in between stone and dirt, so the stone doesn't sink down into the dirt. Anyways, yeah, so I got to get a game plan. So the first thing I want to do is get the machine up here, get rid of the old sidewalk, get the machine up there, start doing any of the demo work I have to do there, and start excavating for the new base material. So let me get a game plan, and I'll set you guys up somewhere, and we'll get them a new sidewalk. So these are just cinder block steps, but they are going to stay, and I just got to take them and glue all the caps back on the tops. All this is coming out and just getting disposed of. All the ground cover on this side is getting taken up. That one's going to stay. That one's more than likely going to be gone. There's some rocks in there I got to pluck out of there. But that new retaining wall in the next phase is actually going to connect right across. I have a feeling. That's staying. My stone is going up to here. So that whole piece will be stone. And here's the sidewalk. So we'll have a little serpentine. I'm going to use, I think it's Holland Premier, and the color is Fossil. And I think it has 4 colors in it. I got a sample right here. Let me get the one without the bird poop on it. There's the sample colors. It has the tans, the whites, the grays. So it has dark gray, light gray, which they call black or onyx. But it has the tan, the white, the gray, and the dark all blended through. and it's the Premier, so I guess they do something special in the very top quarter inch of the pavers. I don't know. That's the engineers. But anyways, that's gonna be the next project. Let's get a game plan. bit done for the day. Got it all dug out. Got the excess soil brought across the street to the neighbor. And so tomorrow I will show up with some base material, and then I will lay the fabric, the soil reinforcement fabric on the bottom, and start building the base up on top of that. And now you can see the serpentine. It's just gonna have a slight little curve to a very slight curve right there and right there. And it's gonna only be the width of this step. So it's pretty much gonna only be 30, I think it's 32 inches. So it's not a very wide one. And I moved those hostas out of the way so they don't get run over, because I need to get the machine up in there. And if you're wondering why I have this pile of dirt, that pile of dirt is gonna come over the curb, so that way I could drive the machines up and over without ripping that curb out. All right, well, I'm done for the day. I gotta go unload the truck at the quarry before they close, and I will be back tomorrow. Day one of a new front sidewalk. All right, well, it's ready for brick. So let's go get the pavers. It's only one pallet. So one pallet should be enough. So I'm gonna go pick up one pallet and then we'll start laying the pavers today. It's has a quarter bubble this way, which is a 1/4 inch per foot. So I want because there's downhill pitch coming this way, and I don't want all the water running down the stairs. I want to shed it off as quick as possible. But any more than a 1/4 bubble, you'll feel it. You'll feel like you're walking like this. So you aim for like 1/8 of a bubble to a 1/4 bubble, and try to get one plane. You try not to get the whoop-de-doos going this way. So we're good to go. I'm gonna go. So let's go get the pavers, and be about an hour and a half round trip. So be a nice little lunch break. picked up for the day. All the pavers are down. And those two, well, if I cut one in half, it'll fill up that both. And then, so I have one cut to do down there. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cuts down this end to do. And if you turn around, there it is. I'll do the edge restraint and the polymeric sand tomorrow. And the cuts. And then I'll be able to backfill the inside edge, replant the hosta, leaving room obviously so I can get the concrete barrel in here to do the stone. And then what's left is this whole flower bed. And this whole flower bed has to wait until I replace this retaining wall. So I'm right on schedule. The sidewalk will be done tomorrow. And I'm not sure if I'll get the stone done tomorrow or not. But there's a new sidewalk. Nice little serpentine right around the red maple. All right, I want to check the flatness of this. So let's go down and look. And that looks pretty flat to me. That looks pretty damn flat to me. You can still see the pavers up near the top step. That's flat. All right, I'm impressed. Good morning, ladies and guys. We're back on the sidewalk job. I got to do the few cuts, 2 cuts or 1 cut down this end, and then the cuts at the stairs over there. Put the edge restraint in and do the polymeric sand. Clean up this whole flower bed here. Replant the hosta. I might get to put I might get the stone, the flower bed today. This section, and then the bottom 2 steps here I have to take apart and glue the caps on because they didn't. The glue that they used 10 years ago failed already. So let me go get my demo saw. I'll do the cuts first, and we'll get started. So the cuts are done. Now I gotta do the edge restraint. I gotta do the edge restraint and polymeric sand. And my sidewalk is parallel with the foundation. That's on an angle. That's actually built not parallel, perfectly parallel to the house. This I actually measured off the foundation on both sections. But this section is parallel off that foundation. And then this section is about a ½ inch off parallel with that foundation. The reason it's ½ inch off is because I had to line up their steps. That, when I went to re-glue these steps, that cap right there is still secured, so I couldn't move it. So that was my my fixed feature basically. So that set all of that. And then that set this line because I wanted my center line lined up perfectly with it. As you can see, it is. But I still got to glue those 2 lower courses. So I'll glue those while the polymeric sand is curing. All right, let's do some edge restraint. I am using the aluminum edge restraint, and I actually put it underneath the pavers, so it's a little bit more time consuming because I got to take up some of the paver, or all the soldier course. I got to take all these up and put it underneath, but it lasts so much better, and I've never had a problem doing it that way. And this stuff has the countersunk nail holes. As you can see, I had a special order. My supplier doesn't even carry it anymore, but it has the countersunk nail holes, so the pavers will sit flat. All right, well, time to start swinging a hammer. All the edge restraint is in. As you can see how I put it underneath the pavers. And they'll never lift up. Never had a problem. Been doing it this way for 10 years. And I have yet to see the edge restraint lift up. but you got to use a countersunk, the aluminum with the countersunk holes. You can't use plastic, and you can't use a flat aluminum. You got to get it with the countersunk holes. Otherwise, your pavers will, every other paver is going to stick up wherever there's a spike. All right, almost ready for sand. Both sides of the flower bed are neatened up. I blew off the dirt. I am ready to do some polymeric sand. I didn't want to get the dirt when the polymeric sand was wet because then I'd have stuck on mud. So now, once this is drying, I can go get the stone. Actually, while this is drying, I still have to fix these bottom two steps here. I replanted the hostas. So let me do the polymeric sand on the sidewalk. And then while that's curing, I'll fix these two steps here. I got to take them off and glue them, whatever ones are loose. And then maybe I'll start laying some fabric paper because this side's going to all be stone. I just don't have enough stone today for it. But I can start laying some fabric paper and or go get more stone. All right, well, the sidewalk itself is officially done. I had to modify, well, I fixed the pattern they had here, and these blocks aren't quite square. So I had to have an overlap here and not over here. So that way this center line is perfect all the way up. But they're all glued, cleaned off all the way up. And no walking on it for 24 hours. Give that polymeric sand time to cure. This is ready for fabric paper, so I think I'm gonna start doing that. Maybe. I gotta check the weather for tomorrow. And then the next big project is gonna be these walls. So they're gonna come out and I'm gonna build a Versalock wall in front of it out here. It's gonna start over, I'm probably gonna go back there and come down and go across. So this is gonna be out here. I'm gonna snake it back. I'm thinking snaking it back in a little, bringing it over and then tying in with that one and going around. Haven't really decided yet, but I'm gonna connect these two walls, make this all one big wall. All right, well, I'm gonna pick up and see what the weather looks like for the rest of the day and decide then. But as of now, the sidewalk is done. Don't forget to check out some of the other videos. This is Holland Premier, and the color is Fossil. So that's one of my new favorite colors. All right, well, see you on the next video.